Type 2 diabetes is not a death sentence. Well, it's not. Hey, I'm Seamus. Here comes the disclaimer time. Uh, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. I am not trained in diabetes in any way, shape, or form. Nope, just a guy that got diabetes when he was 49 years old and went in remission after 18 months by doing a whole bunch of stuff and trying out new things. And the whole point of this is to hopefully help you and maybe find a bit of inspiration or someone who's been through it. But before you try anything you hear on this podcast or any other podcast, consult with your medical team, make them part of the process. Tell them, hey, I'm thinking about doing this and see what their thoughts are. That's what I did. And I found a medical team that was all in with me. Now, I hope this one doesn't come across too doom and gloom, right? You clicked on it, but the title being type 2 diabetes is not a death sentence also has the flip side of it is that death, anytime you have death in there, right, it's not real exciting to talk about. But I thought, one of the things that I researched right off the bat and was told by my medical team was all the repercussions from having type 2 diabetes and not controlling it. Now, when I was diagnosed, they looked at me like I was not a lost cause, but 11.1 A1C. My blood sugar at the time was 474, and they were probably, they gave me all this different medication and everything to try to get it down as fast as possible. But I'm sure in the back of their minds, they're like, if this guy doesn't take care of this, he's probably going to die from this because you cannot live at 11.1 A1C. That is way above that. So um, I went to the internet and asked it some questions, and want to start with that part of it. Type 2 diabetes is not a death sentence. It can be reversed. It can be controlled. If you're going to roll the medical lottery, right, this is probably one of the diseases that if you got to choose, you would take this over cancer or some of the other ones that are out there, right? But it can really mess you up if you don't take care of it. And that's what this is what everything is all about. So how many people with type 2 diabetes reverse it? Okay. According to the internet, reversing type 2 diabetes has a couple of different meanings, right? There's remission and there's improvement. So remission means that the blood sugar levels return to a normal range and diabetes medications are no longer needed. That's where I'm at. I don't take any medication. I don't take metformin or Jardiance or Ozempic or anything. I didn't have that much weight to lose. But I have now an A1C of 5.4, which is probably going to be lower on the next one, but I don't take any medication and I have them for 6 months. So I'm technically in remission, which is great. But the study suggests that around 5% of people achieve remission from type 2 diabetes. Most of that's through significant weight loss, 10% or more of your body weight, which is kind of funny because I lost about 10% of my but I was 200 pounds, I think, at diagnosis, and now I'm 180. I'm not really great at math, but I'm pretty sure that's close. Anyway, factors that increase the likelihood of remission: early diagnosis and intervention. I hadn't been going to the doctor, so I have no idea how long I was living at pre-diabetic and then type 2 diabetic levels. I have no idea because I took a couple years off from the doctor. Bad idea at my age. Significant weight loss within the first year of diagnosis. So that first year is really important, not the 5th or 6th year, because because you're doing damage. Once you get diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, you can be doing a lot of damage to your body and some of it irreversible. So, and then maintaining a healthy lifestyle. This is where I live. This is the most important thing to me. Diet. I personally do a whole food, plant-based, low-fat diet, and exercise. Before I did the podcast this morning, I went and walked on the treadmill. It's freezing outside, absolutely freezing. I ran yesterday; it was -2, and today I just went to the gym, walked for an hour, and then did strength training for 20 minutes. So it was good way to get going. Improvement is the other way you can do it. So reversing diabetes, you can improve it, and you can't really reverse it. There's a lot of controversy about that. Have fun Googling that. But you can improve. Even if full remission isn't achieved, many people with type 2 diabetes significantly improve their blood sugar control through lifestyle changes and medications. This can prevent or delay the development of serious complications. Okay. The title of this is type 2 diabetes is not a death sentence, but it can be. So I also went to the internet and said, how many type 2 diabetics die each year? Now, this has not been updated for a while, so these numbers are much, much higher. But according to the American Diabetes Association, diabetes was the 8th leading cause of death in the United States in 2021. Direct deaths, about 100,000. Indirect deaths, meaning complications from type 2 diabetes that we're going to get to here in a second, about 400,000. But they do note that the number of fatalities related to diabetes may be underreported. A lot of people think it's way underreported. So, again, it's not a death sentence, but you have to take care of it. What diseases are associated with type 2 diabetes? If you got diagnosed already, I'm sure your doctor has already talked to you about that. Quick coffee break. Hold on. That is smoking hot. No, I don't have anything in my coffee except for coffee. All right. What diseases are associated with type 2 diabetes? These significantly increase the risk of serious health problems when you have type 2 diabetes, mainly related to insulin resistance, which we will talk about a little bit, but that's a whole nother podcast. But heart disease and stroke, high blood sugar can damage blood vessels. All right. And if you have type 2 diabetes, that means you have high blood pressure. You're above, or blood sugar, you're above where you need to be, increasing the risk of a heart attack, stroke, and artery disease, narrowing of blood vessels in the legs. Great. Kidney disease. High blood sugar, really hard on your freaking kidneys, right? It can damage the tiny blood vessels in the kidneys, leading to kidney failure. Dialysis. Yes, these are all things that can happen. And these are, again, not just people who have type 2 diabetes, but people that aren't either going into remission or controlling it, right? Nerve damage, neuropathy, right? It can damage nerves throughout the body, causing numbness, tingling, pain. It can affect your hands, your feet, and other areas. So neuropathy, which is annoying and can be really dangerous too. Eye problems. If you talk to your doctor, they've been like, I have to go get my eyes checked every year, right? Diabetic retinopathy is a leading cause of blindness, damages the blood vessels in the retina and light sensitive tissue at the back of the eye. So you can go blind from having uncontrolled type 2 diabetes. Again, I keep saying uncontrolled because not when you get type 2 diabetes, you get diagnosed with it. And like, oh, here's all the things that are going to happen to you. No, these are all the things that can happen to you if you don't take control of it. Foot problems, nerve damage, poor blood flow. Blood flow can lead to foot ulcers and infections, which may require amputation. And that's scary. I check my feet a lot. My doctors always ask me, have you checked your feet? I check my feet all the time. Skin conditions. You're prone to skin conditions with type 2 diabetes. And the scariest one, then there's a lot of new research about this, is some studies suggest a link between type 2 diabetes and an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease and other types of dementia. Your brain loves glucose, but too much of a good thing, meaning you have high blood sugar, can be dangerous. Again, type 2 diabetes is not a death sentence, but that is up to you. Ignoring type 2 diabetes. If I would have said, okay, I have type 2 diabetes, I'm 11.1, I really don't care, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, I'm just asking for all these other diseases to be associated with it. And you're going to find a lot on reversing diabetes. If you watch a video that says you can reverse your diabetes in 20 minutes or 20 days or whatever, that's clickbait. You can't. It takes a while. I was really good at it, right? I mean, I went from an 11.1 to a 6.4 in 3 months. It was not very safe the way I did it, but I did it. And then I was at a 5.1 6 months later with medication. And now I'm at a 5.4 after 18 months with no medications, but it does not happen overnight. The goal, if you have type 2 diabetes, and you should have goals, is to get below 6.4. Why? Well, that technically makes you pre-diabetic, and the line between them is very, basically you're on the right path. What you want to be doing if you're above 6.4, 7, wherever you're at, you want to be moving in the right direction. Down arrows are always good. Your next goal is to get under 5.7 because you are technically in remission there. If and only if you're not on any sort of medication. Now, some people get below 5.7, but they take metformin. It doesn't mess with them, and that's the only way they can get it going. Awesome. It's not a death sentence, but it can kill you. Uncontrolled diabetes can lead to heart disease. Yes. Kidney disease. Yes. Loss of limbs. Yes. Dementia. Yes. Alzheimer's. Yes. The question is, and will always be, what are you willing to give up to reverse your diabetes? Now, weirdly, I love giving up stuff. I do. I loved it when I quit drinking alcohol because I was sick of being hungover. I loved quitting smoking and starting training for a full marathon on the same day. By the way, that was a rough couple weeks. I loved quitting when I decided I'm going to quit drinking Diet Pop for the rest of my life. That was like 4 years ago. Okay. And when I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, for my mentality, I love quitting stuff. I was like, awesome. I'm gonna quit a whole bunch of stuff. What's bad for me? What can I quit doing? I'm never gonna eat a potato chip again. Okay. I'm never gonna eat a French fry again. Okay. But what are you willing to give up to reverse your diabetes? I know those are all food focused, but those are the easiest ones to give up. It's a lot easier to give up something than to start something, right? Are you willing to change your diet forever and never go back to eating the way you do now? Are you willing to stick to a workout plan for the rest of your life? I work out Monday through Friday every morning. I either walk and do HIIT training or I run. I work out every single day at lunch where I do ab workouts and strength training. And then I work out a couple of times over the weekend, including disc golf. And then like yesterday, running long, which was a 6 mile run. But that's what I like to do. But are you willing to do that for the rest of your life in some way, shape, or form? I know that when I'm 85 years old, I'm not going to be able to work out the way I am now. I mean, it'd be awesome, but it's not going to happen. Are you willing to set goals and keep achieving them for the rest of your life? So your goals are going to change, right? Like right now, I'm on a goal to get to 5.1 A1C without any meds. That make me very happy. The next goal will be to maintain it. It's easier to get to the flagpole. It's harder to grab that flagpole and throw it out another 100 yards and keep going. So my goals have changed. I mean, my first goal was to get off of medication. Now it's to maintain it and to get as low as possible and then hang out there. If the answer to any of those is yes, awesome. If you're saying no to everything you're hearing right now, I'm sorry. I hope you change your mind. But medicine alone is probably not going to do it. You don't accidentally get better. The medicine will work for a while, but if you don't change the lifestyle things, the sedentary, the not moving, the food that you're eating, the medicine will quit working at some point and you can keep piling on until you can't. Body's amazing. It'll adapt every single time. So, is type 2 diabetes a death sentence? No, but it could be. And it's definitely a storyline for you if you've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or if you're pre diabetic and you don't want to get to type 2 diabetes. Make the changes now, make them fast and make them stick and make them work with your lifestyle, right? I went to the like whole food, plant based, low fat diet, but I was already a vegetarian, right? I was a bad vegetarian, obviously, but I was a vegetarian. So it was an easy jump. So figure out what your meal plan is, figure out how you want to work out. And absolutely, type 2 diabetes is not a death sentence. I hope your A1C is low, and I hope you have an awesome day. Thank you.